Good morning, everyone. My name is Ellie from Kent State University. We're just here doing a quick recording of the Global Degree Program between Kent State and Anglo American University. So if you clicked on this link, that's what you're here for and you want to hear about it. So we're here to tell you about it. So two great universities in two great locations. So with my guest from Anglo American University, I have Rebecca Newhouse. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Ellie. Thank you for the introduction. And hello, everyone. We're very excited about this program. And thank you so much for clicking the links and taking the time to watch the video. We appreciate it.
So yeah, we're just going to jump right into it. So exactly what is the Global Degree Program? So again, it is a partnership between Anglo American University and Kent State University in Ohio. So we have Prague in the Czech Republic and Northeastern Ohio in the United States. So students from around the globe are invited to in these particular degrees. We have computer information systems, computer science, and emerging media and technology. So those are the programs we're starting with fall of 21. So we're hoping that this interests you and you can continue on listening to our about a 20-minute presentation that hopefully will pique your interest and you can look further into the program. So yes, the program is 2 years at Anglo American University and 2 years at Kent State, gives you a Kent State degree. And everything is taught in English, both in Prague and in Ohio. Again, these are the specific programs, Bachelors of Sciences and Arts in these various programs, basically computer science, computer information systems, which is within our business program, and then emerging media and technology. So those are the different areas. If those are something you're interested in, this is definitely where you want to be. So just how do I apply for the program? So let's just get the basics out of the way. Well, first of all, you have to complete high school, and then you can apply at Kent State. You do need a minimum English score shown here, and we do need a minimum GPA of 2.5 out of a 4.0 GPA, which we calculate once you submit your documentation. So, and the $70 application fee. Since then, once you're admitted to Kent State to the Global Degree Program, then we would start communication with you and all the exciting stuff that you have to look forward to. Here's the cost of the program. It's a little detailed here, so you may want to pause, look a little further, or continue on and maybe come back to this screen because it's, money, of course, we know is very important. So if you want to come back to that, that would be great. So we're just going to start with Rebecca telling us a little bit about Anglo American University and the beautiful city of Prague and what they have to offer.
Yes, thank you, Ellie. So as Ellie said, we are Anglo American University located in Prague in the Czech Republic. We are the oldest private English-speaking university in all of the entire Czech Republic. We're very excited about this partnership. So Ellie, if you wouldn't mind, next slide, please. Thank you. So here we have some photos of Prague. One of the best ways to sell our portion of the program is simply to show you images of Prague. It's a beautifully preserved Baroque and Gothic city, possibly the best preserved one in Europe. And it's a really wonderful place to be a student because considering its size and the nature of it being international, it's extremely easy to get around. And it's actually a very small city. There's a lot of good public transportation and it's a very good place to come and hang out with your friends and feel safe and included. So next slide, please. So why Prague specifically? Why should you pack up your life and go to a country you've probably never even been to before and get your education for 2 years with us? Well, prior to COVID, we did have the lowest unemployment rate in the entire EU, which means that getting a part-time job while you're in school should be something that's very doable for you if you're interested. We are one of the top 10 best student cities in the entire world, as well as the 6th safest city in the world. I've already mentioned our public transportation, but it is incredibly fast, inexpensive, and reliable, so you can always get where you need to be with very little effort or problems. And we are the 4th most affordable city in Europe. On top of that, we are located in Central Europe, meaning that if you'd like to come here for 2 years, you can do a lot of traveling within Europe once you're here, and then go back to the lovely Kent State to finish your degree. Next slide, please. So another thing that we're very proud of is our learning environment. We have very small class sizes. The most amount of students you will ever have in a class with you is 25, but it will be more like 10 to 15 once you get past your first semester of core credits. Because of this, we can offer you a personalized approach, meaning you will know the names of all of the students you are in class with, you will know your professors by name, and you will even know the deans by name of each program on campus. So if you're ill or if you have a problem getting to class or you maybe need some extra help with something, you know everybody, you know where to get help, and everyone knows you as well. We also do use an interactive learning environment. We like to go off of American curriculum. So you will find the same standard of education here as at Kent State. There's going to be exams, there's going to be a lot of interactive classroom learning, a lot of projects. And so you'll really be able to work with your classmates and get to make friends quickly, as well as learning some good skills. And those skills will come from our world-class faculty. They are as international as our students, and they are every bit as excited to be here as you are. Next slide, please. Thank you. Here are some additional photos for you. These are actually of our campus. Our campus is the Turntaxis Palace. It is an ancient palace that was built just after the 30 Years' War and remains a historically protected building by the city of Prague. If you'll notice this top left picture, this is our library. Those ceilings are the original hand-painted ceilings from the 17th century. It means that when you come to campus here, it is just a beautiful environment that you genuinely want to be a part of. I think there's a joke that the hardest thing to do when you're in university is actually make it to all of your classes, but in between the beauty of Prague and the really wonderful campus at Kent State, you're not going to have a problem with that. So next slide, please. In addition to our lovely, lovely campus and the city of Prague itself, we have a variety of resources available to our students. We do have an academic tutoring center, of course. In order to work at that center, you need to be a student who got an A in the course or a professor of the course. We have a career center and a mentorship hub that will help you get a student job if you want, or work on your CV and sort of beef up your interview skills while you're here, so that once you graduate, you feel a little bit more confident moving forward into the workforce. We also have a Lennon Wall magazine and a Soundbricks radio station. These are for all of our students to use. They're 100% student run. So if you have an interest in maybe running a podcast or getting your photography out into the world while you study, this is the outlet for you. And on top of that, we also do have a psychological counseling center. Every one of our students gets 3 free sessions with our counselor. And one of the great things about it is that you can ask her anything. It could be something as simple as, I need to go to the doctor, but I don't speak Czech. Please help me. And she'll be here for you. It's absolutely anything you need. On top of that, we also have our academic events, our debate and learn. This top photo is our Professors in the Pub event, and it's possibly our most popular event. Essentially, we pick a current event each month. So we've done populism, we've done the Me Too movement, we've done Donald Trump's politics. It's anything that's important on a world scale at the time. And everyone can come together in a peer-reviewed environment and discuss it together, which gives you a really good understanding of how all of these different platforms reach various places and people in the world and the way that they interpret them. It's a great way to sort of make new friends and open your mind. On top of that, we have law school roundtables and MBA open lectures that are open to everyone. We do recommend you figuring out what's going on in those open lectures, because often we have businesses come in to give talks. And one time a girl won a free iPhone. So it's always worth knowing what's going on. We do have 2 to 3 annual academic conferences, as well as a variety of art exhibitions. So there's always something happening on campus that you can make friends at and go mingle with your peers. Next slide, please. Thank you. Moving forward with this idea of being able to make friends and mingle, we also do have a variety of clubs and connections. One of the things I think is coolest about our AAU clubs is that they're all run entirely by student government. And so student government decides whether or not a club is popular enough to continue, or whether or not we might want to get a new one. If there's a club you're interested in that we don't have, you simply need to find 2 other students who are also interested in that club and pitch it to student council. It's very, very easy to make sure that everything on our campus always reflects current interests, no matter what yours might be. So next slide, please. One last really fantastic way for you to immediately make friends, which we know can be a bit of an issue if you're going to be in an international environment, is to live in our student housing. Our student housing is in a really cool neighborhood. It's consistently rated one of the top 10 coolest in Europe. It's called Holišovice. It's 1 tram ride away from campus. It comes with shared kitchens, laundry facilities, Wi-Fi, reception, security. You can have a single room or a shared room if you'd like, and you will be absolutely guaranteed that you'll be living with other AAU students. Of course, it is worth noting that you don't have to live in our student housing, but we do strongly recommend it because it'll get those connections much, much quicker for you. So next slide, please. So one of the big questions people ask is, what does it realistically look like for me to study in Europe? We find, typically speaking, including all of your meals, your accommodation, your public transport, and your entertainment, you're going to spend between $800 and $1,000 US per month. Of course, this is just an average. If you're the type of person who typically cooks all of your meals at home and maybe you don't go out very often, you're more of a game night at a friend's house person, you could spend a fair amount less. If on the other hand, you like to always get your nails done, or you have some other sneaker habit or something, then you could spend a lot more. So it's really according to what you're used to in life. Within that, we do find housing is typically around 500 US dollars a month. But again, this is up to your own standard of living. You can do less or more depending on what you want. This being said, you can get a part-time job with your student visa, and you can usually make between $300 and $720 per month. So it's definitely possible to support yourself quite well while you're here. So next slide, please. So back to you, Ellie. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm so enticed. Both of my sons went to Kent State, of course, but had this program been around back then, I think I definitely would have encouraged them to take it if they had that field of interest with the computer science, et cetera. But it just looks phenomenal. I want to go there and visit there for sure. So I'm Ellie.
Absolutely, you're welcome anytime.
That's right. I'll just hang out with Rebecca at her place, right? So,
yes.
So again, I'm Ellie at Kent State University. We're just going to talk a little bit about Kent State. And here is Kent State. We are located in Midwest. There it is relative to the United States. And if you're not familiar with the United States, there we are. So there we have all the points of interest. So you see the Kent where the star is, but all the points of interest about 45 minutes away from professional sports. We're about an hour flight from New York to Chicago. So if you want to travel even within the US, just like Europe, very easy to get around and visit, tour things. A lot of students don't take classes on Fridays. So maybe on a long weekend, you want to just take off or spring break, that type of thing. So always something to do around here. So we have a very, what you call symbiotic, a good relationship with our downtown Kent, the city of Kent area. Kent is really a typical college town. And so we pride ourselves in the relationship that we have, the university and the town. So in the university, we have a direct esplanade, we call it the parkway, between the walkway between the university and downtown. And our downtown, as you can see some of the shots, we have great food, huge amount of ethnic restaurants, shopping, our fashion schools represented down there in one of the shops, music, entertainment, you name it, games, always fun stuff to do downtown with a 5-minute walk. What else is there to do in Ohio? Well, on the top left-hand side, we're about 15 minutes from the Cuyahoga, which means crooked in the Native American language, from the Cuyahoga National Park. It is huge, 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 miles and miles of beautiful park, as you can see the waterfalls. And then we have a huge shopping area about 45 minutes from here. We have lots of areas around shopping in Kent, but also this is the West Side Market, great, cool food and funky products. I've been there 3 or 4 times. It's really fun. You kind of overeat, but that's just the way it is. And then the lower left picture, you have a picture of Amish buggy. We have Amish town about 40 minutes from here. And that's just a way of life, a very simple way of life. Some people's faith has them directed that way, no electricity, that type of thing, but it's just a beautiful farming town, lots of shopping and eating, but you see the buggies and the horses. And then on the lower right-hand side, Cedar Point, which is about an hour and a half drive from Kent. We have one of the largest roller coasters, roller coasters in the world, and so much fun. I love roller coasters. So when you're in Kent, you're definitely going to check out Cedar Point. There's no doubt of it. If nothing else, you're going to check out Cedar Point, right? So who attends Kent State University? Well, you name it, they can come here because we have about 300 programs all the way through the PhD level. We do not have a medical school or law school, but you could certainly do, pre-law or pre-med if you're not interested in specifically the computer programs with global degree. But we have about 1,300 international students represented from about 100 different countries. So you're certainly going to meet anybody and everybody from around the world at Kent State. So just a little bit about our student life. So once you do your 2 years, then you come to Ohio for 2 years. And then we have, we have 25 residence halls, dining halls, 11 dining halls. We were the first gluten-free dining hall in the United States for universities, and 3 small grocery stores on campus, but of course off campus, as you can see the middle shot. The bus runs 24/7. So we could take you to, the bus drivers could take you to, if you wanted to go to Walmart or any drugstores or, more restaurants, but a lot of things are within walking distance, but it's a very large campus. So actually Kent State, the city of Kent is known as Tree City. So it's a huge sprawling green tree city, and it's wonderful in all 4 seasons. My favorite being fall with all the great colors that come out of the leaves in the tree. And so on the right-hand side, we have a picture of our newer architecture building. And there's the esplanade, the walkway between the university and the downtown area. So very close to everything. It is a good walk around campus, but we're always encouraging a healthy walk no matter where you are and who you are, right? So one of the things about our Kent State University is the Global Learning Village. So if you have other, students that have, the interest of computer science, you can live in the same dorm with them, take the same classes. So it helps you make those connections. Again, as Rebecca mentions, making friends when you get onto this campus. Now, there's going to be, your peers, your classmates that you've already connected with in Prague that are in the global degree program that will come to Kent State with you. So that's a great way to start friendships too, right? And, friendships from university often last your entire life. And we all know that although you want to make friends, and that's very, very important, it also makes great connections and networks. So if you have somebody in the emerging media field that's graduated, be 5 years, from the time your class, let's say, and you're changing careers, you can contact your friend from that program and say, hey, you remember Prague and all the great times we had at Kent State? Then you can make connections and possibly make some career choices, opportunities through people. You never know. You never know what networking can get with you. And of course, friends, best friends are even the best. So also throughout the year, we have festivals, as of course does Anglo-American universities, concerts, everything's free. We are Division I sports, all the sporting events are free. We have it's just a state-of-the-art recreation center. It has 8 basketball courts, 2 swimming pools, all kinds of workout equipment, yoga, spinning, you name it, they have it, kayaking. We also have an esports team. So we actually have a competitive with other universities esports team. So that's electronic sports, video games, that I know that's of interest to a lot of folks in your age group, maybe. So something else to consider. Safety. We know how safety is very, very important to parents, especially. I know it's important to you, but of course your parents. As a parent, I sent my kids to Kent State, of course, and very safe campus. As you can see, we were voted 25th safest campus in the US, which is pretty good out of 4,300 universities in the US. And the police escorts are there 24 hours a day. If it's in the middle of the night, you're studying for your midterm at the library, and then you want, of course, the campus is safe, but as a single person, you maybe want some accompaniment to your resident hall or your dormitory. So you just, text them. They'll be there in a minute to help you out. And flash alerts. Oh, who doesn't love a flash alert? Because it's Kent State flashes. But flash alert, it happens at like 5 or 5:30 in the morning. Hey, there's too much snow on the ground. So guess what? Classes are canceled today. Yay! Kind of nice once in a while to get that surprise, isn't it? So academic and career, we do have, as Rebecca mentions also, we also have small classes. And over 56% of our classes have 20 students or less. You'll find as your beginning classes often have more students in them. As then you progress to your later years in your degree, less people are in those classes because it's getting more specialized at that point. Very strong faculty, over 70% do have the highest degree in their field. And we have what's called required advising. So we will put a hold on your student account so you can't register for classes until you meet with your academic advisor just once a semester. You gain that relationship. You've already got the 2 years under your belt for your courses. You know what your plan has to be, but the academic advisor is there to help you stay on that plan. We don't want you to take 4.5 or 5 years to get your 4-year degree done, right? So students were going and often taking a bunch of different courses. And yes, you can take electives and other fun classes, but you don't want to take too many that you're extending the time that it's going to take you to finish your degree. Research opportunities. So Kent State prides itself in research opportunities. So once you do come to Kent State, then you can have research opportunities within the fields that you'll already be studying with emergent technology and computer science, computer information systems. Also, Kent State is number 5 in patents in the US and Canada. So those are legal protections of, let's say you invent a product or a service, then that gives you apply for that, then it gives you protection of that product or service for X amount of years. So we are number 5 in patents. So we produce a lot of, protected items, if you will. Academic, more and career academic area, we have 14 libraries. So we are pretty much anything you need to know is on campus along with Google, right? So the Academic Success Center, that is where tutoring, Rebecca mentions that too. So you can get tutoring, you can be a tutor, that could be a job that you have on campus, but it's good for if you're struggling in one of your computer science classes, or if you're struggling with writing, we have a writing commons. So the students are there to help you, and you could actually, again, be one of those students, right? So we have a personalized professional career advising, as Rebecca mentions, also in their university. So they help you build your resume and your CV, your interview skills. They get you co-ops and internships. We also have several job fairs each semester. So we have that set up in our rec center. There's tables and employers all over. So internships are very important in getting jobs. Employers want to see, have they had real life experience? So that's something to be thinking about. STEM, now, all but the emergent technology, I'm not positive about because that is a new program, but definitely computer science, bachelor's of arts and bachelor's of science are all STEM programs, along with computer information systems. So the STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. If you didn't know that, it gives you the eligibility of 3 years staying in your optical practical training to work in the United States. If you're not a STEM program, it's only 1 year. So something to think about. It's a couple years off, but still be thinking about that. Again, as Rebecca mentioned, student organizations, another great way to meet people. We have over 400 student organizations in these relative fields here. Again, if you don't see a club that interests you, and you can get a couple friends and start that club. But my guess is we'll probably have that. I think a student mentioned, oh, I like hacky sack. Well, there's a hacky sack, that little ball that you twirl around. So we have one of those clubs. So you name it, they have it. So let's see here. Okay. So just a little bit, about the employment again, having this great global education between Prague and Kent State, that's going to give you a real leg up. A lot of the students only go to Kent State within just, the university itself. Yes, we have a prolific study abroad program that may not be the same as 2 years in another country and 2 years at Kent State. Maybe you're from Nigeria. There's like 3 different countries involved. So, that makes you a very desired employee. So here we have at Kent State, over 92% of our graduates are employed in continuing their education here at Kent State. You can get a master's and PhD in computer science and any of the other fields that would be the global degree program if you wanted to study beyond that. So scholarships and work. Now, we all know that money is extremely, a big issue, but not only parents, everyone. I mean, we understand, especially during COVID, that, maybe that has, people are struggling, but we're on the way up on that. So hopefully that's not going to be an issue here soon. And so we have our global scholarship. So every student, once you come to Kent State, you would be a transfer student. You get a global scholarship for $4,400 a year for 4 years. Now, this is for international students. So unfortunately, it's not for US students, but it is for international students. So also then once you're a sophomore at AAU, you can apply for scholarships at Kent State starting your junior year, because you have the initial global scholarship, but once you're in the university, you can apply for more scholarships in those programs. You just write maybe an essay, you have a good GPA, you get some more monies coming in. Also, if you decide to go on to a graduate assistantships, or graduate degree, then you can get an assistantship possibly, which helps pay for your education, gives you a stipend or a small monthly allowance to live, and also working on campus. So you may even maybe at the end of your sophomore year start looking around the website for jobs on campus, dining service, library, security, I mean, you name it. So you can work up to 20 hours a week, which again, as Rebecca says, helps you, offset some of the costs that you will have here. So thank you so much for your time. I know it's not live, but if you have any questions, you can email either myself, Ellie, on the lower left, or Rebecca on the lower right. So hopefully we'll hear from you, and hopefully you stuck around for the little presentation here. Try not to make it too boring, a little interesting, hopefully for you, but I know for sure I'm definitely going to Prague. I know that's on my bucket list now. It might be a little too late for my degree, but I'm definitely heading there. Rebecca, you want to say a little few words?
I was actually thinking the same thing. I think I need to go to Kent State now. It just seems so lovely, and I want to use that pool. So thank you, everyone, as Ellie said, for going through the presentation. We know it's not live, but the fact that you took 20 minutes out of your day to listen to us really means a lot. And we hope that we piqued your interest and look forward to getting all your questions.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us.